Shalom, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Peace, salutation to the hopeful elect scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth, learning or teaching this gospel in truth and sincerity. Shalom. Today I want to go over how last days, man. We want to stay with Yahawashi, Yahawashi. And I want to go over how the first Exodus is not going to be talked about no more, man. Because you know, Taiwan's prepping their people for war. China is getting ready for war. And you know, there was China people out here, police stations out here. So we know that a lot of China people came over here as well. And so we know there's Russians over here as well too. This is getting to the end. Matthew chapter 4, verse 17. From that time, Yahawashi began to preach and say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So we know the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. We're in the last days, and we need to come back to Yahawashi, because the devil knoweth he have a short time, you know, like Revelation 12 and 12. So he's moving fast, you know. So we got to seek our salvation with fear and trembling, man. Seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And do this work to the best of your ability. So this is Jeremiah chapter 16. I'm going to start at verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said that Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So it's not going to be talked about no more. That first Exodus is not going to be talked about no more, because the second Exodus is going to suppress the first one. This is going to be nothing that we've ever seen before, you know, like how it says in Jeremiah chapter 30, Jacob's trouble at last, you know. Jacob's trouble, and that's what we're waiting on, Yahawashi. We want this Armageddon to kick off, man, because we're the ones mourning, man. We're the ones ready to get out of here. That's why we're lifting up our voice like a trumpet, you know. So verse 15, but Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them into the land that I've gave unto their fathers. So that's us getting back into the land that he given unto their fathers, man. And you know, through the covenant, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we're gonna get the kingdom, Yahawashi. And you know, like from the north, it's talking about Babylon. That's the north, known as the great whore, Babylon, known as America. Verse 16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, from every hill, out of the holes of the rocks. So Salaki, we're the fishermen, you know? Just like how Yahawashi said, I'll make you fishermen, follow me. And we're following Yahawashi, so we're fishermen. We follow the Lamb. And it's like, that's why we're feeding the flock, like how it says in John chapter 21. Feed my flock, feed my sheep, feed my lamb, you know? And you know, like, we all have different lots, and we're still warning the wicked, you know, so that blood's not on our hands. And it's like, and then it says, and those hunters, I'm gonna read it again, and after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them, and from every mountain, from every hill, and out of every the holes of the rocks. So from out the holes of the rocks, man. Let me get that Isaiah. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 2. I'm gonna start at 11. The lofty look. Oh, we'll start at verse 10. I'll start at verse 9. And the mean man boweth down, and the great man humble himself. Therefore forgive them not. Verse 10, enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust, for the fear of Yahweh and the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of the man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. So the heathen are going to know Yahawashi that day. You know? And the lofty looks of the man shall be humbled, and as we see, like as I read, you know, that the great man shall be humbled. So all you great and lofty looks of men shall be humbled. A lot of people are going to be humbled in these last days. Verse 12, for the day of Yahweh of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, upon everyone that is lofted up, and he shall be brought low. And all the cedars of Lebanon in the high and lifted up, and all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills are lifted up, and every high tower, upon every fenced wall, and upon the ships of Tarshish, and upon all the pleasant pictures. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. So you see, a lot of people are going to be humble in that day. So you know, Yahawashi is going to bring destruction. You know? Verse 18, and the idols shall be uttered abolished. All those idols shall be abolished. You seen recently Yahawashi destroyed a cross, man. He destroyed a cross, man. He's bringing plagues and prophecies to pass, man. Let me get that Revelation 16 and 12, man, just to back that up. This is Revelation chapter 16 and verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river of Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. So we know when that Euphrates River is getting dried up. You know, in a recent article, they even said that it's dried up, and you can hear those angels that are locked down in the chains screaming. I've seen it on TikTok, man, and those are the ones that are with Satan. Those angels that went against Yahawashi and are with Satan, man. Yeah, that's why. Here's another prophecy that came to pass. This is Isaiah chapter 41 and verse. Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 18. I will open rivers in high places, fountains in the midst of the valleys, and I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and dry lands, springs of water. So we seen that. Brother Yosef put it in the chat, man. There's a wilderness of pool of water, man. There was a wilderness, and it had water there, man. Dry land, springs of water. Hey, that's how you know we in these last days, man. It's time to come back to Yahawashi and repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, like how Yahawashi said. Verse 19, they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for the fear of Yahweh, for when the glory of his majesty, when there arises to shake terrible the earth. So when he shakes the earth, man, because we know there's going to be a great earthquake, you know, and I'm going to line that up with Revelation 6. And in that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made, each one of him for himself to worship, to the moles, to the bats, and to the clefts of the rocks, and to the tops of the rag rocks, for the fear of Yahweh, for the glory of his majesty. when he ariseth and shaketh the terrible of the earth. Sees ye man whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he accounted of? So they're gonna go in the cliffs of the rocks, man. And you know, that's what it's getting into. You know, and line that up with Isaiah 31:7. It's Isaiah chapter 31:7. For that day every man shall cast away his idols and his silver and his idols of gold, which your own hand have made unto you for a sin. So they're going to cast away all this gold and silver, man, because they know it's not worth nothing. Because they're bringing that CBDC, and just like in the time of Roman Empire, they switched the money currency, man, and their kingdom fell. Just like this kingdom's going to fall as well too. And wickedness keeps abounding and abounding, and the love of many shall wax cold, like Yahawashi said. And when wickedness abounds, Yahawashi presses a reset button, just like how he did when the times of Noah and during the ark. He brought that ark. He brought and then the flood, and he said a reset button, and only 8 were saved. That's how you know only a remnant's gonna get saved. Not everyone's gonna get saved. You're not coming back in as a baby, man. Come on, let me line that up with Revelation 6. Fuck you, bear with me. This is Revelation 6. I'm gonna start at verse. Let me see. Slacky, I'm starting at 12. And behold, when he had opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, in which she is shaken of the almighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain island were moved out of their places. And the kings of earth, the great men and the rich men, and the chief captains and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains. And they said to the mountain and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of the wrath shall come, and who shall be able to stand? And they won't be able to stand, because they fear Yahawashi, the wrath of the Lamb, because the Lamb is Yahawashi. And you know, the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the chief captains, the mighty men, and the bondmen, even the ones that were in jail, and the free, every free man, are going to hide in the rocks. You know, the rich, the elites, the ones that have money to afford these bunkers. You know, your so-called Rockefellers and Bill Gates and your Rothschilds and your 13 richest families in this Babylon the Great. You know, because they're the elites, man. They know the scriptures, they know the prophecy, they know it's all coming to pass. Like they know Euphrates River is dried up, man. Like how it said in that last article. Like, come on now. And like how the water in the wilderness, man. They know it, man. They know these prophecies are being fulfilled, man. I'm going to continue on in Jeremiah 16. So verse 17, for my eyes are upon all their ways, they are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And their iniquity is not hid from their eyes, man. From Yahawashi's eyes, Salakia. So I'm going to line that up with Revelation 18. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and every unclean, hateful bird. So Babylon is going to fall. And when Yahawashi comes with his chariots, this place is going to be destroyed. Also by the nuclear missiles, this place is coming to an end. Because Yahawashi controls the nuclear missiles as well. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And that wine is speaking of lies, according to Micah 2:11. Read Micah 2:11, and you'll know. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life. And that was the fornication that they did, the devising of idols, these worshiping of idols. You know, just like how that was pushed on our people, you know, during the time of slavery. They pushed that, his face as Caesar Borgia, who is you know, was a gay dude, man. He had a relationship with Leonardo. Yeah, Da Vinci. God. God. So this is verse 4. For lo, I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye not receive of her plagues. So you want to come out of this ways. You want to wake up to Yahawashi and come to these law, statutes, and commandments. So you don't be partakers of these plagues that are coming. Because like in the time of Exodus, the 10 plagues came. These plagues are going to be far more worse. Because like how it says in Jeremiah 30, it's going to be worse than it was ever to come before. Jacob's trouble. Verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God had remembered her iniquities. So these sins that they're doing have reached up unto heaven. And Yahawashi remembers her iniquities, man. Because they just keep doing these sins on. And that's what iniquity is, to just keep sinning and not repenting, come back to Yahawashi. So Khan, I want to get to that, continue on, Jeremiah 16. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sin double, because they have defiled my land, and they have filled my inheritance with their carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. So we know that the heathen will be judged. You know, it's going to remember what Esau and Amalek did, you know, like how Yahawashi told Saul in the book of Samuel, chapter 1 Samuel 15, when he told Saul that to wipe out Amalek for what they did. I remember what they did to the children of Israel, to the feeble, you know, and that's why it will be forever, generations and generations will be going against Amalek, how it says in Exodus chapter 17, verse 14, if I'm not mistaken. That's why. And Saul didn't listen, and he went against Yahawashi, and he spared a King Agag. He wasn't supposed to do that. He was supposed to slay him, and he sacrificed the cattle, and he was supposed to slay it. So that's a rebellion is a sin, and it's witchcraft, as it states in there. You don't want to do that. You want to come to Yahawashi, and you don't want to do witchcraft, man.
Do you need brochures?
Brochures? No, I don't. I have YouTube though. If you want to subscribe, I could give you the YouTube page. All right. Yeah. So, verse 19: For Yahweh my strength, my fortress, my refuge, in the day of affliction. But verse 18, you're gonna get paid back for double for the iniquity you have done. You're gonna get paid back double. So verse 19, for Yahweh my strength, my fortress, my refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, things wherein there is no profit. So the Gentiles are going to come from the ends of the earth and realize that that their fathers have inherited lies and vanity where there's no profit. And we know in these last days the Gentiles are going to wake up through Yahawashi, through us waking up the Gentiles, man. Yahawashi is the light unto the Gentiles. The Gentiles of the 12 tribes of Israel that were Hellenized. But now they have to wake up. Come back to Yahawashi and don't be a Gentile no more. Verse 20, shall a man make gods unto himself? They are no gods. Therefore, behold, this once, because to know, I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh. Yeah, and Esau and Amalek and these other nations, Moab and our enemies like Psalms 83, they're going to know the Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. The heathen are going to know, and the 2/3 are going to receive their judgment, man. They'll be cast into the lake of fire known as Gehenna. You're not coming back in as a baby. I have lessons on that as well, and the brother Habiyallah and Yahweh do as well. Check them out, Yahweh Razak. This is Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel chapter 21, starting verse 8. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy, and say, Thus saith Yahweh, say, a sword is sharpened, and also furbished, and it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, and it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? And it contemneth the rod of my son, as every tree. And he had given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it to the hand of the slayer. So it's given to the hand of the slayer. And who's the hand of the slayer? The slayer is Yahawashi. And we know Yahawashi said, I didn't come to make peace on earth, but I bring a sword. You know, he's bringing the division. And just like there's division in this world today, it was back in those times. With the Pharisees, there was different sects. There was division, and he's bringing division when he comes back to set kingdom on heaven, on earth. He's going to come destroy his enemies, and we'll get salvation, and that's to be delivered from our enemies through Yahawashi. And that's how you get your sins purged away, through Yahawashi too, as it says in Matthew 1:21. And to get saved from your enemies too, like in Luke chapter 1. Yeah, that's why we need to come back to Yahawashi Yahawashi, because time's running out. And you know, that sword, it's like Yahawashi Yahawashi, he'll have the sword, but he won't even have to use it. But you know what he said, bring them hither before me and my enemies and slay them, like in Luke chapter 19. But he won't even have to use it, because you know how it says, but we don't know. We're just saying who knows if he might use it or not. But Yahawashi Yahawashi, when he comes, like it says in the book of Revelation, his mouth, he'll burn out fire. Yahawashi will burn out fire through his mouth. And he's coming with the chariots, with the whirlwind, the lasers, the fire through the lasers, through the chariots. And of course the missiles in Armageddon. And he controls those missiles. This is Isaiah. And he controls all things. To back that up with Isaiah chapter 45, verse 7. I form light, I create darkness, I make peace, I create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So anything that happens is through Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. Come. So let's hear what that song is. That because a lot of these churches try to say that it's all love, like I love you, you love me, like it's Barney, you know, like John 3:16. But that's false, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi is not. He's a man of war. So you know it's not going to be all love. He's a merciful and compassionate God as well, but he's a man of war as well. So let's get into it. Revelation chapter 14, I looked, and lo, a lamb, who's Yahawashi is the lamb, stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, and that's the elect, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. So you know he's going to have his Father's name written in his forehead. And you look at that in Strong's G, it says the son's name as well, Yahawashi. And you know, that's how you know the name's important, man. Acts 4:12, it says, no other name you shall be saved. So when IUIC and these other camps saying you don't need the name, that's false. You got to have the name right now. Because like it says in the book of John, I will bring this into remembrance, and you shall remember all things. The Comforter, the Holy Ghost. And you will learn these things. Just paraphrasing in John chapter 14. So it's going to bring you in remembrance to know. You'll open up and understand these scriptures. And I heard a voice from heaven, many waters, and as the voice of great thunder. And I heard voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung it as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man can learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. So that's the elect being redeemed from the earth. And we'll get into what that song was. And they are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb wheresoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. So that's how you know they were first fruits, that they came onto this truth, the Yahawashi, according to James 1:18. He came to the word of Yahawashi, and that's what we're trying to be, the first fruits. Yahawashi, we are the first fruits, man. You know, we're trying to be the elect. You know? Verse 5, and their mouths was found no guile, and they are found without fault before the throne of God. So you don't want to be found, you don't want to have no guile in this walk as well, because the elect have no guile. And they followed the Lamb, man, and they weren't defiled with women. We have multiple lessons on women in the Church of Yahawashi, Brother Hawiyal and Yawasab do, and I got a lesson women as well. A lesson on women as well. Check it out, Yahawashi, check those out. You don't want to be defiled with women. You don't want a woman to take your crown. Let no man take thy crown. You want to have that seat on that chariot. So people want to take that seat on that chariot from you because they don't have one. Yahawashi, we have that seat on that chariot. This is Psalms chapter 149. Starts on the top. Praise ye Yahweh, sing unto the Lord a new song. So we know this is the song. And his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people, and he will beautify the meek with salvation. And the meek shall inherit the earth, man. The meek will get salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, with two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them judgment written. This honor have all the saints. Praise ye Yahweh. God, you want that's what that judgment's gonna be right there. You know, and you know, kings with chains and nobles with fetters of iron, man. They're going into slavery. He that goeth in captivity, he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. That's why Yahawashi said they must be killed with the sword. They that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword. When Peter cut off the ear, and Yahawashi healed him, man. You know? Because they're going to get it in these last days, man. Because reincarnation is real, man. Just like how it says, the pierced shall see him. So the pierced are going to be reincarnated in these last days to see Yahawashi when he comes with the chariots in the clouds. And then that's going to execute vengeance upon our enemies and the punishments upon the people with the two-edged sword in their hand, man. And that's the song that I'll sing, man. You know, that's way better than the national anthem. You know, like, come on now. Sluggy, look at that. Con. Let me get that Salakia. Let me get that Psalms 126. You know, our people are mourning. When Yahweh turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. So this is like a nightmare that we're going through. You know, and it's like. Because this captivity is a nightmare, man. Then, verse 2, then our mouth was filled with laughter and our tongue was singing. Then said among the heathen, Yahweh had done great things with them. So we're gonna be joy when we're turned away from this captivity, because this captivity is a nightmare, man. Like I was saying. And Yahawashi is going to turn away the captivity on his elect, man. And the great multitude, a number we don't know. And the joy is going to be from us. And the heathen are going to know. They're going to know that good things have been from Yahawashi. Just like how I said, the heathen are going to know. This also says it in Ezekiel chapter 36. How the heathen will know. Yeah? Turn them away from the heathen. So they're going to know. Just paraphrasing. You know? Verse 4, turn again our captivity, O Yahweh, as the streams in the south. And that's what's getting ready to happen. You know? And they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Because we're mourning right now. But the tears shall be wiped away, how it says in the book of Revelations. You know? And we're going to be reaping in joy. Verse 6, he that goeth forth and weepeth bearing precious seed shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him to take away our captivity. You know, and that's what's going to happen. So when this ends, we'll be rejoicing. We won't be in a low estate no more. Line that up. So I'm gonna start at Proverbs chapter 2, I'm going to start at verse 14. Who rejoiced to do evil and delight in forwardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they're forward in their paths, to deliver thee from a strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the God of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. for her house inclineth unto death, and her path unto death. So you don't want to rejoice to do evil like these women do, and as well as Esau, man, and these other nations, man. And that's a crooked path, man, because they're not on the straight and narrow path, you know. And they forsake the guide of Yahawashi Yahawashi, forsaken of her youth, of the old past, of what we're supposed to seek, like how it says in Jeremiah 6:16, seek out the old past, you know, and you're forgetting the covenant of Yahawashi Yahawashi. You don't want to forget that, because that's how you get your salvation, through Yahawashi. And it leads you into the path unto death. You know, like verse 18, for he the house inclineth unto death, and her path unto death. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life. Thou mayest walk in the ways of good men, and keep the path of righteousness. So you want to keep the path of righteousness, stay on that straight and narrow. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. So the transgressors are going to be rooted out. The wicked are going to be cut off. You know? Let me back that up with this Psalms. Chapter 92, verse 7. When the wicked spring as grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. You know, they're going to be destroyed forever. They're going to be cut off. Like as it says in Obadiah 1 and 18. You know, and then that Obadiah 1, it says we're going to possess their lands. We're going to get our land back. You know, Yahawashi Yahawashi, we're going to get it back. Khan. Yeah, like I said, like in Isaiah 2, how they're going to throw that money away because they're covetous after this money. Let me get that 1 Timothy chapter 6, since I brought it out on Instagram today. Last night, Salakia. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6. Start at verse 4. He is proud, knoweth nothing, doeth about questions and strifes of words, wherein cometh envy, strife, railings, evil, surmisings, perverse disputations of men, of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. From such withdraw thyself. So they think this gain is godliness, man. You know? And you have a corrupt mind when you're doing this. Perverse disputings, man, and the proud. You know, that's Esau and these 2/3, thinking they know everything, and the proud, man. But verse 6, but godliness with content is great gain. So that godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out of it. So we didn't bring money into this world, so we can't carry nothing out of it. If we get we get beamed up, we can't bring all the money with us when we get beamed up. You're laying your treasures upon heaven, like Yahawashi Yahawashi said. You're saying your treasures upon on heaven. That's where your heart will be. But they that will, Salakia, verse 8, and having food and raiment, let us therefore be with content. You know, and that's how we want to be content, with food and raiment, because that's how we have clothing and food. We got to be thankful to Yahawashi Yahawashi, and give all glory to Yahawashi Yahawashi in all things, whether we eat or anything, like in 1 Corinthians 10:31. And you know, like just how it says that house should be your covering. You know, that house to cover shame. You know, like it says in the book of Sirach, that house is a cover. You know, and then that's why you want to have that house. I want to get this Sirach chapter 39 in verse 24. But his ways are plain unto the holy, so they are stumbling blocks unto the wicked. You know? So verse 25, for the good are good things created from the beginning, so the evil things for sinners. You know, and it's a stumbling block for the wicked, man. So evil things for the sinners. You know, only the sinners are not going to wake up and come back to Yahawashi and not be covetous, man. You know, like and not be after this money and act like this, man. You know, with that envy and strife and railings and evil submissings. So I'm going to continue on. Verse 9, and they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, into many foolish and hurtful lusts, in which drone men into destruction and perdition. So this draws you into destruction by falling into the traps and temptations and the lusts. Verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, you coveting after this, and they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. So you pierce yourselves with many sorrows by you're erring from the faith. You're leaving the faith. It's going after money, to coveting after money. You know, and it says in Sirach 14, a wicked eye, the covetous man has a wicked eye, man. Like the brother Yahawashi said, man. I just want to back that up with this Proverbs chapter 27. Look at Proverbs chapter 27, verse 20. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. So the eyes of men are never satisfied, and that goes for women too. The ones that covet after this money and err from the faith. Verse 11, but thou, O man of God, flee these things. Flee from these things. You know, flee from coveting after money. Flee from erring from the faith. Come back to the faith. Follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness. You know, the fruits of the Spirit. That meekness, man. The meek shall inherit the earth. You know, and that long suffering that goes with patience as well. That's that endurance, man. So you want to follow after these things. Seek the kingdom, and all righteousness shall be added unto you. You know, verse 12, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, where thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses. So you want to fight the good fight of faith. That's that good war of warfare. You know, that's being a soldier of Yahawashi, fighting the good fight of faith. It's not going to be easy. You know, like Proverbs 24:16, a just man falleth 7 times, but he get back up, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. You know, and that's why you want to get back up. You know, and keep fighting the good fight of faith, even if you fall short. You know, because we all fall short of the glory, but we come back. Let me get there. Romans chapter 3, verse 26. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh, being justified freely by His grace through redemption that is in which is in Hamashiach Yahawashi, whom God has set forth to be a propitiation through faith in His blood, to declare His righteousness for the remission of sins that are passed through the forbearance of God. So we know that Yahawashi, that's how we be partakers of that blood, through the water baptism for remission of sins. This is Matthew chapter 26 and verse 28. For this is my blood, the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. So as you can see, that water baptism is connected to remission of sins, to his blood. So that's how you're partakers of his blood, because that's what he just said. Salaki, he said, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. So his blood was shed for many for the remission of sins. And as you can see in Luke 24, he said, Luke 24 and 47, and the repentance and remission of sins should be preached in his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. In his name, in Yahawashi's name. You got to be baptized in the name of Yahawashi for remission of sins to receive the Holy Ghost in water. John 3 and 23, his disciples were being baptized in water at that time, you know? And then John 4 and 1, his disciples were baptizing. Come on, man. Con. Let's get that. Yeah, let's get that. Let's line up that Luke 16 with that being covetousness, because I just brought that out too on an Instagram post, like I said. This is Luke 16. This is Luke 16. I'm going to start at verse 10. He that is faithful in that which is least faithful also is much, and he that is unjust is least, and also in much. It's like him. Yeah, so you want to have that faith, man. So you want to have that faithful in the least. So you're faithful also in much. Because it's equal to that you being unjust in least is also unjust in much, you know? So verse 11, if therefore ye have not been faithful in unrighteousness, mammon, which is known as riches, who will commit to your trust the true riches? So the true riches is your trust in that righteousness and that faith in Yahawashi. That's what Yahawashi is getting at. And if ye have not been faithful in what is another man's, who shall give you to which is your own? Verse 13, no servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold the one and despise the other. He cannot serve Yahweh and mammon. So you can't serve Yahweh and riches, man. Just like how it says you can't sit at the table with devils. You can't sit at the table with Yahawashi and the table with devils. You can't do that at the same time, you know? And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things and were derided him. It's lucky, and they derided him. So they scoffed him, man. And we know these Pharisees tried to kill Yahawashi, you know? And a lot of you are taking that Judas bag, you know? It's the love of money, man. It's the root of all evil. Taking that Judas bag, you know? And you're gonna point out Yahawashi over a bag of money, man. You're gonna be you're a traitor unto Yahawashi, just like how Judas was. You know, that's how the Pharisees got Yahawashi crucified through Judas, through that. How did they get? Yeah, they got him crucified through Pontius Pilate when he's in the Romans were in controlling that time. They were under the Roman captivity, and that's how you know this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt and Rome, because all roads lead to Rome. Like I said, when the money collapsed during the Roman Empire, you know, their kingdom collapsed, just like this kingdom's gonna collapse through Yahawashi Yahawashi again. This is Amos chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. And like I said, the house of Jacob, you know, that goes with the seed, man. Because like I said, that house is the cover to the cover of shame, like how it says in Sirach. That house also goes with seed. You know, just like in that offspring, like in Revelation 22:16, I, Yahawashi, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and the morning star. So Yahawashi is the bright and morning star, and he's the offspring of David. So he's that offspring, that's the seed, that's the house, the sperm. It also goes into that. You know, there's two different types of houses. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So the 2/3 of our people are going to die by the sword. We know the sword also is known as destruction. You know? So they don't think that evil shall overtake them in those times. But it's gonna happen, man. Like Ezekiel chapter 12. See if I could get that. Ezekiel chapter 12. And again, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that seeth is for many days to come, and he that prophesieth of the times that are far off. Therefore say unto him, thus saith the Lord God, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore. Salakia, be prolonged anymore. But shall the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith Lord God. So this prophecy is gonna come to pass. No, his word's not gonna be void. They're all gonna come to pass. Yahawashi Yahawashi is gonna bring plagues upon this place. He's gonna save his elect. You want to hear the word? Come hear the word.
I know the word.
You know the word?
100%. At the back of my head.
What you know that
I say my favorite what?
You know the true name of the Father and the Son?
The Spirit, yeah.
What's the true name of the Father and the Son?
I don't know.
No, we don't follow Trinity. We follow. We follow the true name is Yahweh, Yahawashi. Ancient Paleo Hebrew.
I mean, my thing is you call on them Jesus. It's supposed to work as long as you believe, correct?
No, that's not correct.
Well, I know that the Bible reads differently here from where I'm from. So I'm from, you did bind the text in your heart. You should read the stone. I'll tell you, I know the Bible says that my favorite scripture would be, was it my own tongue? Finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. O armor God, that you may be able to withstand against the wiles.
Oh, yeah, Ephesians 6 and 13.
Yeah, that's actually 6 and 12. No, 6 and 10, no, because I think not the tribulations are set for you, for your glory is my favorite. It's 6 and 12. I really do know why. My mom was seriously happy. But my mom was But just out of curiosity, what is your belief system?
So it's Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. Neither there is salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. And so we know that the true name is Yahweh and Yahawashi because the letter J wasn't created until the 1500s. And back then 2,000 years ago, Yahawashi was speaking Hebrew. The Dead Sea Scrolls are in Hebrew. And it tells you to.
The Dead Sea Scrolls and all that, but I mean, but at the end of the day, all that matters is that you know. And it says that it matters that you know, and that you believe it. But a lot of people here don't. Not only they believe in everything else but Jesus. I'll say good luck. I mean, what's your name?
Yahawashi.
Yeah, who?
Yahawashi.
Birth name?
He's Joseph, but it's Yahawashi in Hebrew.
Tank. That's it. It ain't. I don't know how you say tank in Hebrew. Is there a T still in the alphabet? No, but seriously, I do believe that.
Let me get one more before you leave. This is Exodus chapter 24 and verse 20. Behold, I will send an angel before thee, and keep thee in the way, and bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thy adversaries. So that's the only way that he's going to deliver you from your enemies.
Well, I read once where it says, you know, they say an enemy of an enemy is a friend of mine. I read once it says, if you're in good standing with God, then make even your enemies at peace with you.
Yeah, no, Khan. Yeah, I know that precept in Proverbs. But his name is in him. Like how it says right here. Like how it says, for my name is in him. Yahawashi. Yahweh is in Yahawashi.
I just remember starting to ask this is my own incarnation. Why this? Why out?
Do you know who your enemies are?
Last I checked, my adversaries are anyone that doesn't. I want to say believe in God because at the end of the day, God's not like that either. The way he was introducing me was through my mom. She said God is a gentleman. He will never force himself on you, and he's just not that way.
Your enemies are the white man.
Oh, the what?
The white man. Esau. Esau Edom. Esau Edom.
Esau Edom. My enemies here. Anything that believes in God should have 1,001 enemies here, truthfully, because this place has so many. This place is so different than where I'm from.
Yeah. Like I was just reading this in Amos chapter 9 verse 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say that evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So 2/3 of our people are going to die on this earth because they don't believe in Yahawashi.
Notice, but a lot of people. So I'm not sure if you can all talk to us.
Yeah, a lot of people are gone because that's through Yahawashi. Through your spirits of vengeance.
But my thing is, all I know is that if you truly believe in God, you should be having more problems than you ever had in your entire life.
Because you're going through the fiery trial. You have to be baptized in the water in Yahawashi in order to go through that.
But you be baptized in Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. But you should even have more problems if that be the case, because it says I should be tried in fire, and I should be now. I should be pure gold. That's the whole purpose.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna continue on in Amos 9. Amos 9. Yeah, you didn't want to hear me. You didn't want to hear me out, man. And hey, this ain't for everybody, you know. For he that have ears, let him hear, man. You know. Hey, Khan. So this is Amos chapter 9, verse 11. Yeah, we'll continue on. Verse 11. In that day I will raise up a tabernacle of David that is fallen, close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as a day of old. So that's the house of David. The tabernacle is David right there. You know, Yahawashi is the seed of David. Like how I said, he's the offspring of David. You know, it tells you that in Matthew as well. You know, so God, hey, watch my virgin birth video, Yahawashi, you know. Hey, the brother Hawiyala and the Yahawashi got a video on it as well, you know. You know, hey, come. The brother Yosef made a video on it as well too. Check it out, Yahawashi. Hey, verse 12. And they may possess the remnant of Edom and all of the heathen, which are called by my name, saith Yahweh, doeth this. So you know that they're gonna possess the remnant of Edom. That's the ones that are gonna be left to Edom. That's what the remnant is, a small portion left. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, the ploughed man shall take over the reaper, and the treader of the grapes, him that soweth seed. And the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and the hill shall melt. And the reaper is the ones doing the work. You know, like how it says in Deuteronomy, we were the reapers doing the work, and we weren't getting paid for it. We weren't getting paid for the work we did. We weren't getting the benefits of the work. You know, we weren't reaping the benefits, as Deuteronomy says. Verse 14, and I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. And they shall also make gardens and shall eat fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith Lord thy power. So Khan, that's us getting our land back, man. You know, and that's what we're striving for, man. To be of the elect, Yahawashi Yahawashi. We're seeking to be of the elect and to get that land. You know? Let me line that up with Slovakia, bear with me. This is Deuteronomy chapter 11. And Slovakia. It's Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 22. And we started. Hey, if you want to hear the word, come hear the word. I got you. Come. This is Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 22. For if he shall diligently keep all these commandments which I have commanded you to do them, love Yahweh your power, to walk in all his ways and to cleave unto him. So to cleave unto him, to hold on to his word, man. You know, we got to hold fast and hold on to this word to the end. You know, and then the Lord will drive out all these nations before you, and ye shall possess greater nations, mightier than yourselves. So this is how you will be able to possess these greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Verse 24: every place wherein the soles of your feet shall tread be yours, from wilderness and Lebanon, from river and river Euphrates, and even unto the uttermost sea shall be your coast. So we'll possess it all, you know, even planets, like how it says in John 14:2. I have for you many mansions and planets, you know, just paraphrasing, you know, we're going to possess the uttermost parts of the land, the four corners of the earth, the elect, Yahawashi, we have their number. Let me get that Sirach 10 and 10. Yeah, because those Israelis over there, those are the synagogue of Satan, man. Synagogue of Satan. Israelis, man, those are the fake Jews. We're the true Jews. The 12 tribes of Israel, man. That's our nation. We got to come back to Yahawashi Yahawashi, and that's our way to the kingdom. You know, see, We gotta, like I said, we gotta lay our treasures upon heaven, man. Let me get that second Esdras. Before I, second Esdras chapter 13, verse 37. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into tempests. That's why you want to rebuke the wicked inventions of these other nations, man. Bill Gates putting the jump shot in the food, and I'm gonna have to word it like that because I know what's going on, man. I know I gotta get stronger and learn my lesson, man. If you don't know what the jump shot is, hey, man, study to show thyself approved on words, because I got to talk in code out here. Salakia, let me get that, Sarah. Yeah, so this is Sirach chapter 10, and I'm going to start at verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set it over one that is profitable. So the power of the earth is in the hand of the Yahawashi, and he's going to set it over to one that is profitable. And who is that? That's Yahawashi. And let me get that. This is Sirach chapter 23 and verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of man, and feareth not the eyes of the Lord. Are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. So Yahawashi sees everything. His eyes are 10 times brighter than the sun. Proverbs 15:3 says Yahawashi sees everything, through the angels, man. So that's why we know we're getting judged according to our works. So we want to make sure that we have the fruits of the Spirit and have good works, man. Come on, let me get 15 and 19. This is Sirach chapter 15, verse 19. And his eyes are upon them that fear him, and he knoweth every work of man. Like I said, he knoweth the works of man, And he hath committed no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given a man license to sin. And that guy that was talking to me, who believed in that false name who people ignorant call him Jesus Christ, but he's sinning. Come on now. That's why I gave him that 2/3 are gonna the sinners are gonna be cut off, man. In that Amos chapter 9, and he didn't want to listen. And he didn't think I know about how your enemies be at peace with you, man. Come on, that's in Proverbs, man. Like, what? Yeah, this is Proverbs chapter 16 and 7. And a man's ways please Yahweh. He make even his enemies to be at peace with him. Yeah, that only will go with you if you're in the truth of Yahawashi. That don't go with him because he's in the world. And he's out here sinning. And he believes in the Trinity. Trinity's false doctrine, like how it said, he shall be baptized in my name in Luke 24 and 47. And Eusebius, in the book of Eusebius, it breaks down that Matthew 28, man, and 19. God, it exposes that. It exposes that. So that Baal Shem Kadash is false, bruh. Your apostles don't rule well. It's false doctrine. Your apostles and elders don't rule well, man. Come on. So I'm so this is so Sirach chapter 10. I'm gonna go verse 6. Bear not hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all in injurious practices. Pride is hateful before God and man, and by both do one commit iniquity. So yeah, you don't want to do by nothing. You don't want to do those injurious practices. You know. You don't want to bear hatred to thy neighbor for every wrong. You know. And you know, pride is hateful before Yahawashi. And you're doing that, you're committing iniquity. In verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And you know that's what Esau, Edom did, and these other nations do, man. They do injuries and riches, dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit. Like how I said, how they in the curses, how they got their land, they got their riches through us by having us in captivity, and we didn't get paid for it. We didn't reap the benefits. How the curses say, man, and how he committed blood. He made a city with blood. How what Christopher Columbus did to the Native Americans. You know, and also it happened as well in the Trail of Tears, man. You know, and he thinks it's manifest destiny. Esau, that's his manifest destiny, where he thought he could take over, where he thought that he was entitled to this, but he doesn't know the scriptures. He knows the scriptures. He perverted it and twisted it to his own favor, so he could get riches by deceit. And the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And who is it going to get translated unto? Unto Israel, through Yahawashi. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. Yahweh Radazal, that was edifying. I'm going to be back out tomorrow, so just get back to it tomorrow. This is Matthew 26:6. Now when Yahawashi was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head, and he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahawashi understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also that this woman had done be told for a memorial of her. And with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawashi. Peace, salutation to the hopeful elect scattered abroad across the four corners of the earth, learning or teaching this gospel in truth and sincerity. Shalom.